New Saban Christmas specials. Megaforce. What can I say? Makura recently mentioned Samurai Christmas in a mocking tone. And then I got reminded of this. This is pretty awful. The Megaforce Christmas special, RoboKnight goes to Africa. How could this go wrong? Oh boy, good start. That's high quality writing there. And it gets a lot worse. This is sort of what you call a racist Power Rangers episode. Let's forget about talking about like the Black Ranger, where the African American Ranger was colored black, and the Yellow Ranger was colored. The Asian American Ranger was colored yellow. This is pretty much as bad as someone calling me a chink. It's even worse because like it's systematically teaching children how to ruin entire countries. Let me get into this. There are some interesting parts I want to ignore. RoboKnight. Let's start. The episode begins with RoboKnight wondering why lights are ruined. With electricity is ruined by Christmas lights. Good point. Why do we do it? And then Noah's like, fuck you. Lights are good. Reasons? Christmas. Malls. And consumerism. That's the lessons of kids today. Whatever. You can tell how flabbergasted I am by this. Don't scare the kids if you're talking about saving electricity during Christmas. We need consumerism. We need malls. We need the kids to not be scared by you so that you look like a toy, RoboKnight. RoboKnight agrees. He's an Altarian. I don't even know what's from Altar, but I'm assuming he's from Altar because, like, go say Intenso, no Zoran or something. So he's an Altarian with superior intelligence, and he agrees to look like a toy. Yes. Why? I don't know. That's pretty much why everybody thinks Batman would beat Superman, despite having completely different psychologies and brains. So they don't go on having the Megaforce male Rangers go on a voyage to look for gifts for the girls. Shipping? Plotline development? Nope. Just a reason to write them off so you don't have to pay them. So RoboKnight goes to Africa. How can this go wrong? It could have been worse, considering that Saban can get really cheap. The New Zealand desert does convincingly portray in Africa a lot better than dumb Santa's Workshop and Mighty Morphin, which is just a set that says North Pole on it. So good. However, I'm going to say everything was shit. One of the kids couldn't act. Overall, the supporting cast was fairly good. Still positive, but whatever. However, they do mention that they want to bring gifts to Africa. Is Africa a bad country? Worse off country in Power Rangers Super Megaforce? Why are the Power Rangers helping him? Where are the gifts that Noah and RoboKnight were promising the little kids earlier on? Where are the people who were supposed to bring the toys and him to Africa? How did he get to Africa if no one drove him to Africa while he was pretending to be a toy? Why do these Africans need gifts? They look healthy and well sustained. They don't look like starving kids in like one of those infomercials late at night. There's no evidence that they don't celebrate Christmas or do celebrate Christmas or are Christian or aren't Christian, other than a Christmas tree. But when I moves the Christmas tree an inch for some odd reason. It's well known that there are Christian Africans. Egypt, like ancient Egypt, and you figure that one migrated somewhere just by logic if you've ever read the Bible or anything, or know anything about geography or anthropomology. Something I figured in case like they couldn't figure this out from their own history or whatever, because like Saban's from Israel, even though like the show takes place in New Zealand, it's shot in New Zealand, and they have like an American cast that says up everything. I actually typed in Christian Palestinians. and there's 38,000 of them, and you can look it up in less than a second on your iPhone. The second you type in the whole thing, I would time it myself later on. Although when Ecolar typed it in, he's from Argentina. It took a little bit longer to search for it because like you had to press through a couple things. I was automatically going on your iPhone when you type it Christian Palestinians in Spanish. So there's some effort there. 3 more seconds. My gosh. And then who knows about Hebrew, but they obviously did not take a lot of research to do these episodes. And it shows. As I mentioned before with Noah thinking for some odd reason and not proving that dreams can tell the future, like some sort of crazed, ignorant political person that votes, not knowing all the facts. Back to the episode after, because I don't really want to think about the episode, but I'm basically reviewing it, I guess. I don't know. I don't even care. So anyway, the whole point of the episode, you figure would be to learn about Christmas. I care about Jesus, but maybe about the consumerism, maybe families having a good time together, maybe buying some cool gifts. But they don't even do that. You know, it's Power Rangers. You figure they want to buy some Power Ranger toys or something, give them out, have the kids celebrate. Nope. Let's talk about the Power Rangers instead. It's a review episode for some odd reason. Yeah, the lesson of Power Rangers and Christmas is to learn about the Power Rangers and not about Christmas. That makes sense. So, RoboKnight teaches about Power Rangers. Not their powers or their duties, but whatever. He discusses the humans, you know, despite them, at some episodes, wanting to have a secret identity, and other episodes not. I don't think I need to watch Neil Breen anymore. So there's this terrible Saban footage of him singing out like a star film, Blue Centurion style, was hiding at the Ghost Aid base or something. And he's blatantly in front of the kids, and he's not a toy. Which I just occurred to me now. Like, that's very consistent. The African children don't learn about Christmas. RoboKnight all of a sudden doesn't care about the wasted Christmas light electricity, despite the African children and adults never telling him the meaning of Christmas. Whatever. Saban spends even more electricity, get the smart idea to spend money on a RoboKnight CGI. RoboKnight gets a gift from a random roof. Santa hat or something probably would help to figure out that Santa, even though I guess it's such a smart piece of work. We don't need to see a Santa hat to assume that Santa's there, even though it's like for preschoolers who think that Christmas, yes. We never see the girls' gifts that the Mega Force Rangers go after, because that CGI on RoboKnight is more expensive than like renting or having the Rangers actually buy their own gifts for the fellow Rangers. And we don't understand what the lesson about Christmas is about. I'll sit in silence in shock. So I'm trying to get everybody to watch this episode with Kills Makra, because he friggin' mentioned friggin' Christmas Samurai, and I guess it wasn't as bad as this, even though it was pretty bad. Like, everybody's wondering, there's a racist Power Rangers episode, and yeah, this is pretty much racism. It's about missionaryism, converting Africans into... I mean, I don't even think it was intentional, but it's basically about converting people into a religion or a holiday or assimilation or something. And getting them to convert into your mindset. It's pretty dangerous. It's reverse engineered. Like, it offended me as an atheist because it's supposed to, which is weird. Like, I didn't even teach them about Christmas, yet it offended me. So it should offend Christians. But I don't even know what kind of logic that is. Also, Echolog showed me a link to the Simpsons episode where they went to Africa or something. Which makes me wonder, did New Saban somehow get this idea from watching a Simpsons episode in one of the bad seasons? And still make it terrible? Even worse? Why do they not know about Christmas? Is it because they're African? Is it because they're from Africa? Why would RoboKnight know anything about Christmas and tell it to the Africans? Is it because he's Altarian? Is it because he knew about it in a couple seconds that he was in the episode? Because he didn't know anything about Christmas before, and yet all of a sudden he's an expert. It's because of super intelligence. Why does super intelligence say that about Christmas would make everything better? Or RoboKnight assume they don't know anything about Christmas. Why don't they make lives better or not affected by them because they look pretty happy anyway? I didn't know this before, but Cosmocra has a thing about Power Ranger characters and Santa helmets, Santa hats, and how creative, or supposedly creative, those costume decisions are made, despite probably not actually making an action figure with a Santa hat. And I think I'll lose my mind writing this. I write down, I say what I write down. And there's no logical reason as to believing no one would understand Christmas on this show. Except they don't teach it, possibly make the point even worse anyway.